Yo, what's going on, y'all? It's your boy Dane Diddy, man. The Super Bowl was the other day, and my man K Dot had the Super Bowl halftime show, and y'all know my man tore it down. But I want to give my take, but I also want to take a different angle. Everybody's giving their take out here. So what I wanted to do was talk about some of the pieces that he wore, talk about how the set came together, the people involved in the set, and things of that nature, and then I'll give my take after that. So the first thing I actually wanted to go over was the actual set. I have some pictures. I'm going to go ahead and throw them as I'm talking. The set was created by they've been doing the Super Bowl for, I think, almost 20 years now. And they said that they got the word and then they had a conversation with K Dot that he was going to be performing the Super Bowl. And after he made the announcement, he had until Thanksgiving Day to finalize the set and come up with the concept of what the set was going to look like. So him, PG Lang, Dave Free, they got together and they worked on the plan, and Kendrick came back with the concept of my life being a video game. Basically they're saying that he wanted to use that aspect to, reach younger children and younger people in general. There's a lot of people playing video games these days, so they could relate to that. And also it feels like life is a video game from time to time, as well as the music industry basically being referenced as a game a lot of the time. So it was kind of like three stones at one time. So, and y'all know K Dot loves to do the double, triple entendres and things of that nature and layer things on. So that made a lot of sense. He finalized the show, the set, and they started putting it together at All Access in Riverside, California, or basically in Hollywood, California. Excuse me. Riverside is where they found the car. So after they finalized the set, they started working on putting the set together, cutting metal, cutting glass, and all of that stuff, putting everything together. And they said the fires didn't slow them down. It did mess up rehearsals a couple times, and they had to reschedule rehearsals. But as far as creating the set and everything, the fires didn't affect them very much. So that worked out pretty well for them. That helped them get everything done on time. As far as the car went, that was probably the hardest part of it all. That was a real Grand National on the stage. I'll put some of the stuff that some of the pictures and things of nature they use. But yeah, that was a real Grand National, and they did have to gut it in order for it to work for the stage show. They initially thought about doing a prop, but they ended up going with finding the real thing. They found it at a mom and pop's car dealership in Riverside, California. They almost didn't get it, apparently, because they was working with somebody else that was going to sell it to them, but then they couldn't find the deed because the owner had passed away. So they found the car, they gutted it. The company that did the interview did ask if it could be rebuilt back and put on the road, and they said no, more than likely it will roll out with them with Kendrick on tour. So if y'all do see the car on tour, it probably was the same car that they put together for the Super Bowl. Because as y'all guys should know, I think most people know this, but acts don't get paid to do the Super Bowl. They basically make most of their money off of the interest generated from the performance. People start streaming their music and buying their albums, and all of their numbers just jump up significantly after the Super Bowl performance. And Kendrick's metrics show that, as well as SZA's metrics, and that's been the case from year after year after year. The Super Bowl is so big they don't have to pay anybody. They did mention that it was a bit difficult to put everything together, just considering the fact that the area that they have to get everything through is really small, and they had to also fit like 3,000 people through that entrance and put the stage together in 7 minutes and then get everybody off stage in 6 minutes after everything had concluded. So I thought that was cool. They do have pictures of them, like the set pieces spread out across their facility and everything like that. They did have to drive it all the way from Los Angeles all the way to Louisiana, and I thought that was an interesting story, so I definitely wanted to include that. I had a good time reading that story. If you guys are interested in reading the story, it is on Wired, and the story is the crazy story about how Kendrick Lamar's Super Bowl set came together. It's on wired.com if y'all guys want to check that out. Now, moving on to the outfit, man, a lot of people were asking a lot of questions about the outfit. What is he wearing? Where did he get these things from? So I thought it would be kind of cool to kind of go over these things. I'm not like a fashion guy. I don't really care about most of that type of stuff. I don't really care about expensive jewelry or anything like that. But I'll cover it just because a lot of people are asking these questions. So let's get into it. So just for reference, the place that I'm pulling this information from on the outfits comes from The Hill, and it also comes from Vibe magazine. If any of you guys actually wanted to figure out where this information comes from. Matter of fact, I'll just add this in the comments and the information down below so you guys can click on the link and read all about it. First off, it's the chain, man. I'm pretty sure everybody's seen it. It is not an A minor chain. That's not what an A minor looks like. It is what a lowercase a looks like. And I can't remember exactly which font that is, but the chain is actually just the A that's in his PG Lang logo. So it makes perfect sense. Matter of fact, the majority of what he had on is actually just references to all the stuff associated with him since he started his PG Lang label pretty much from the last calendar year. So the A minor chain, so the A chain is actually created by Eliante. I believe that's how you say his name. He's a famous jeweler that's been doing a lot of pieces for a lot of the jewelers. I mean, for a lot of the artists and entertainers, sports athletes and stuff out here. And this piece is actually pretty dope. The video shows a nice, cool look at it. And I think it looks pretty dope. I think it's cool that he has like the little square blocks that actually say PG Lang and red diamonds going down the chain. I think that actually looks pretty dope. Next up is the ring. The ring that he's actually wearing over top of his gloves. It looks like an eye. People are thinking that it references Peekaboo. I couldn't confirm nor deny this. And the jeweler didn't necessarily specify in the comments about exactly what the eye represented. But either way you go, here it goes. This is what it looks like. It's a nice, cool jewelry piece. You know, a little over the top for me, but you know, pretty dope. The jacket is a Martine Rose jacket. It's a varsity jacket. It's customized 100%. It's red, white, and blue, and it has a bunch of patches and things hidden all over it. So let's go over that. On the back, you just have a huge PG Lang, and then there's some cursive underneath. I had a hard time figuring out how to read that initially, but it actually has a Man in the Garden lyrics on it. I deserve it all in cursive. I think that's a nice little touch to it as well. On the front of it, it says Gloria. Anybody that listened to the GNX album knows that Gloria is his pen, is how he got as far as he's gotten this in his career. So on the sleeves, they have a bunch of references to either the Grand National, the actual GNX car, the Grand National Tour. I should have said that, the Grand National Tour. It has a patch that says Peekaboo. There's Wop Wop Wop. There's a Wop 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 patch up there for Not Like Us. There is a Wop 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 patch, and there may be another one that I may be missing, but that's the general idea. It's basically references to songs and everything associated with the upcoming tour, the GNX car. It's basically an album promo jacket. Hopefully they sell it as part of his tour merch. I think that would be pretty dope. But yeah, let's move on. Next up is the hat. It is actually just a New Era hat, but it's completely different. On the back right here, it says 5+5, which is another reference to Not Like Us. How many songs did he have in stock? On the New Era hat, he has 2 diamond brooches. One of them is actually a wing, an angel wing, and then the other one is being called a half moon sunset diamond pendant. So I'm going to provide pictures of both of those up here. I thought that was actually pretty dope that he wore a 100% customized hat. I think it's pretty cool that he kind of went with those instead of actually just getting a PG Lang logo and etched into the hat. But I mean, it's a hat. It's dope. I think it was a cool accessory. You know, it is what it is. The pair of sneakers that he's actually wearing is a pair of Deion Sanders sneakers, the Nike Air DT Max 1996. These are actually pretty cool. They look dope with the boot cut Celine jeans that he had on, but you'll never see me wearing anything like that. But it looked dope on him, and I thought it fit the aesthetics, and it actually made him. He moved around pretty well on him on the football field, so you know, pretty dope. So now that we went over some cool aspects of the set and actually what he was wearing, I actually wanted to get my take on the performance, man. I've watched a lot of people's takes and listened to some of the conspiracy theories and things like that. I did kind of come up with my own thoughts on what I thought was actually happening. First off, I do want to mention that he did an Apple Music interview and they asked him what people should expect from the performance. And he said storytelling. I mean, if anybody that's familiar with Kendrick Lamar knows that everything's been storytelling for him. I believe it was the BT Hip Hop Awards when he had did the whole thing where he was locked up and he had did the Black of the Berry and cuffs, and like he's always done like some type of storytelling as far as performances. Apple Music, the Apple Prime joint that he did, the for Mr. Morale. That was dope. Storytelling all the way throughout. Kendrick isn't necessarily one of those artists that do a lot of like, I'm gonna come out here, do all my number one hits or all my smashes and perform to the crowd. There's usually a purpose behind everything he does, sets, and like it was dope that in Mr. Morale he had a ventriloquist and a puppet. And you know, there's some really dope things that happen in Kendrick Lamar concerts, and he wanted to bring that to the Super Bowl. And when I heard that he was doing storytelling, my ears automatically peaked up because I'm just like, all right, man, I got to keep my head on the swivel, got to look out for what's going to happen and everything like that. And it did not disappoint for me. So Samuel L. Jackson plays Uncle Sam. And as we all know, we met Uncle Sam in Kendrick Lamar lore on his second album, To Pimp a Butterfly. He led us through the game. You know what I mean? He wanted to see if Kendrick Lamar got invited to the big game. Now, can you play along? Can you play the game? And the performance was basically Kendrick bucking the system and deciding that he didn't want to play the game. It kind of goes to a lot of things that Kendrick's kind of done in his career. You know, he could have went up there and he could have did all the smashes. He could have did all right. You know what? Like, personally, I don't want to hear all right now. Like, Donald Trump is the president. Shit ain't about to be all right. Stuff is happening. There's some crazy stuff going on with what they're trying to do. Stuff ain't going to be all right. I don't want to hear all right. Black of the Berry, I mean, yeah, that could have been cool. But I feel like the set list that he picked was perfect to tell the story that he was trying to tell. There were some things that I was trying to see if they meant anything and I couldn't figure it out. Maybe some people that are smarter than me will be able to figure some of the stuff out. Like there's a moment after he says A minor where the camera pans up and it shows the whole crowd. And I was just like, yo, if I knew any better, I would have thought that looked like a music scale, but I couldn't figure out how to make it make sense per se, since there's red dots, blue dots, white dots spread out all across the field, and I don't know which dots to ignore. And for all I know, it could actually just be nothing. It could be me as a Kendrick fan thinking that he tried to send us a message in that moment. Maybe I'm right, probably wrong, but hey, maybe somebody will figure something out and see if that actually means anything. There is some dope stuff. I saw the company man had posted someone's theory about when he mentioned like I'm gonna pass on his body like John Stockton, and then everybody laid out and they look like swastikas. I thought that was a reach. I thought they just looked like the chalk outline of people. They just like the symbol of what it looks like when they outline somebody in chalk, like the general one that they put out there. Aside from that, there are some cool, like, you know, the XXXTentacion one is kind of cool, mixing with SZA and Serena being exes. I thought the performance was really dope. I do understand why some people are upset that he didn't perform the hits, but what do we get from performing the hits? You know what I mean? He just did the hits at the pop out. That was his show of him kind of like performing to the crowd and giving them everything they want and doing that. This was the moment to come on stage and actually kind of make a statement. He didn't make the statement everybody wanted him to make. He made a statement that people weren't expecting. And that's kind of what I enjoy. That's the type of things I like. And a lot of Kendrick fans do. I don't want to see all of the smashes. I actually like hearing B-sides. I had no, like when he did Man in the Garden, I was just like, yo, I can't believe he did that. I couldn't believe he did Peekaboo. I couldn't believe he did the intro to the like trailer for GNX. And I knew he was going to do something because Kendrick is notorious for when he's doing these performances, doing something that people haven't heard yet. You know, that's kind of how we get the Untitled joint from Kendrick to begin with. There was a bunch of stuff that he had done on Jimmy Fallon and stuff like that. And the BET Awards where he did something, it was a verse or a song, and we never got access to it again. So it's cool that he did that. I still feel like it's a song. I still feel like it may hint at maybe a deluxe right before the concert rolls out. I don't know. Maybe we'll never get it. You know, who knows? Based on how Kendrick normally operates, we really don't know. To those that didn't like the show, I mean, I saw Maul. Dude is just super corny now. Like, I feel like Drake exposed Maul of just being a shill. He said it was the worst halftime show he ever seen. What are we comparing this to? What are we comparing this to? I have no clue how you walk away with that. I can see maybe if you were there, that performance more so feels like it is built for the people on TV, and that's for a lot of performances. You know what I mean? I feel like they're built for TV, and they're not, especially when something has that many layers, when people are moving from place to place. Like the peekaboo part, depending on where your seats is like you don't know what's happening right there without watching the screen. And I'm assuming there was a screen for them to watch. I don't see how you couldn't have enjoyed that show at the venue. I know there's some people that posted some pictures of a bunch of like Trump supporters not enjoying the show, and that's fine. That's part of what he was trying to do with the performance. It's just like everything ain't for y'all. It's about the culture. You know what I mean? Uncle Sam. I saw a cool YouTuber, man. His name is Just Wayne, and he had pointed out how Uncle Sam had on Kendrick's T-Pap album. He talks about how offer him 40 acres and a mule, and then Kendrick references that again in this performance. Like, yo, it's deeper than that. I'm about to take it all. You know what I mean? I love the fact that he has "I deserve it all" in his jacket. I feel like that's how all of us should feel. Like we should feel like we deserve everything and more, and continue to work hard and get it. And that performance is just the epitome of like, this may not be for y'all. This ain't for all y'all. Y'all not like us. It's cool. I'm glad he didn't pander and do the hits. He gave us a little bit of that with All the Stars and Luther, and he could have, if his set was longer, I'm pretty sure he probably would have had what do we call it? The joint with Rihanna, Loyalty. He probably would have added Loyalty in that section, and maybe he would have had Poetic Justice in that section. Like the songs that don't make you think, the songs that kind of just make you feel good and it's like the shut up and dribble songs. You know what I mean? But he didn't do that. He went straight up hip hop. That's it said on the stage, warning, wrong way. And that's the wrong way for the general fan. That's not the wrong way for hip hop fans. I'm of the ilk of we need to support the people that are pushing the genre forward. I know some people are just upset because it just feels like Kendrick he just keeps winning. And unfortunately, I got bad news for y'all. He's about to keep winning. The tour's coming. He's got a movie coming out in July with the makers of South Park. That's a comedy. I mean, I know you guys are just praying that the movie is just not funny. And the songs that he has on this album are just going to continue to play. If you don't like it, that's fine. Jay-Z had a great line, man. If you don't like me, cool. It's fine. It costs you nothing. Pay me no mind. Do the same with Kendrick. If you don't like his music, if you don't like what he's doing, it's okay. I think it's great to have the number one rapper in the industry be a student of the game, and then a poster child for the culture. I feel like that's very important. We don't get that a lot. It hadn't been like that for a while. I mean, Drake was kind of the top guy. I like Drake's music a bit. I fell off of it quite a long time ago. I felt like he's been kind of just slacking and just giving the world gunk. But I love J. Cole's Might Delete Later. I love GNX. I like Mr. Morale. I don't know what people's issue with that stuff is. I listen to rappers that of that ilk, the Coast Contras, the Ransoms. There's a lot of good music. I just found out about a kid named Akeem Ali the other day. I think that's actually dope. There's just so much good music, and Kendrick is the poster child to tell you don't have to compromise your art to move records. You don't have to compromise yourself to the system, to the game, in order to generate a buzz. You don't have to do any of that. To the other people, that I just want to say, the people that act as if Kendrick wouldn't have been able to get this spot without dissing Drake. This man has hits that have nothing to do with Drake way before Drake. Anytime Kendrick dropped his album, he was the number one guy until he went away. I mean, that's just the facts. It doesn't matter how people feel about that. People act like he just got on. He just started making good music, and Kendrick has kind of like documented this in his music. Like if you go listen to the lyrics of of mortal man. You know what I mean? Like Kendrick has told you time and time again, like he's told you himself, he's not your savior. All of these people that people look up to are not your savior. Like, look at the people that we did put trust in and that we did like and love and put high and hold high on a pedestal. We ended up getting fucked over by him. Like, look at Diddy. You know what I'm saying? People love Diddy and supported him for years. And like, the dude is a straight up monster. You know, look at Kanye West, man. Dude gave us 4 classic albums, man. 4 classic albums. His mom passed away and he ain't been the same since. And now he's out here selling swastika shirts, ranting online, and it really is giving jealous of what's going on with Kendrick. I mean, he said he's gonna win 20 Grammys, and I don't even want to hear a song from Kanye West no more. Period. I have zero interest. We shouldn't be supporting people like that. At some point, Kendrick will not be number one and somebody else will be number one. And let's hope that that person is carrying the culture on their back and keeping the essence of this shit alive. I'm a child of hip hop, man. I feel like hip hop raised me. You know what I mean? Like, I learned life lessons through songs and lyrics and all of that stuff. So hip hop has a extra special spot in my heart. So I just love what Kendrick Lamar is doing. I think this is one of the doper Super Bowl performances that we've gotten. And if you're really upset about that and you want Jay-Z to hire somebody else, and I'm pretty sure the NFL is like, cool, bye Jay-Z, Taylor Swift, Sabrina Carpenter. Like, that's what we're going to be getting for the next couple years. Could Lil Wayne have had a dope Super Bowl performance? Probably. He could have. It would have just been different. It would have just been different. T-Pain could have a dope one. It would just be different. Everybody is different. So if you didn't like it, that's cool. Everybody's entitled to their opinions. But your opinion can also be wrong. Anyway, let me know in the comments down below how you guys felt. If there's something that I pointed out that I missed about his outfit, about the stage, or something cool that you guys have found out, put it in the comments. I didn't want to really get in to conspiracy theory territory or anything like that. But I am watching the takes and there is some really cool stuff. But man, if somebody could figure out if that shot is a scale or something, that would be really dope, man. This has been Dane Diddy or R.O.S E. The culture wins again.